Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at NVIDIA, AMD, and Tesla. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. If you like these videos, go to my website, sign up, it's free, or click down here in the bottom right hand corner and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Traders, if you're looking for a new broker, check out CobraTrading.com/promo/StockBookie. Best in the business, been using these guys for years. If you're an active trader looking for a new broker, check out CobraTrading.com. You won't be disappointed. All right, let's get into NVIDIA. We had 8.8 million shares traded on a day, 1.11% up, or $2.17 green. Let's go to the 10-minute chart to see some intraday action. And pretty much tested this little pivot down in here. Great consolidation here before it launched on this part. They gapped it down into the same area. Pretty much shot up the rest of the day, filled the gap, and kept going and going and going. We are running into a little bit of resistance up in this area. We'll see if they gap this thing up tomorrow to just go right past the resistance and keep this thing going. Next big area will be the 201.54 and the $200 area too. Or let's see, 199.97, or this big red bar here when it started breaking down. Overall though, down sideways in a bearish manner. But if you're bullish, as long as it's holding this 191.54 area and this bottom trend line here where it's connecting this low, and into here, as long as it's holding this, it should be all right. Is this a head fake? Don't really know, but it is a slight micro bullish pattern as well. But the bottom line has got to get over the 198.02, the 200, and then the 50 MA here right at 201.54. Until then, let's see if it chops around or keeps going, or with the light volume and the 4-day trading week, will this thing just kind of grind higher into this area? So tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday will tell a little bit more of the story, and plus the weekly chart too, and see where that closes. Again though, you are above the 20 now, so it's a little bit more of a bullish stance. Need to get above the 50, and then possibly higher prices to come. So let's watch for this one the next couple days and see what happens with this. But a nice push up today, 1% up. It wasn't like anything huge, but it did get above the 20 MA, and it is holding these the gap fill and this lower trend line. So that's something to watch. Bears, this thing's just got to stay in this area here and keep chopping around. As long as it's inside this bar, you're okay. And just tighten the stops just in case if this thing does start to pop. If it gets above the 201.54, I would expect this thing to probably fill this gap in probably 209.92. Remember, NVIDIA is the stock of the year. All they got to do is start hyping it up. The bulls will come about, and just keep buying this thing at the highs and possibly shoving this thing up. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on the overall markets too. If they stay light volume, keep chopping around, then this thing should start pushing up NVIDIA. So watch for that. Let's get into AMD. AMD, same thing. This thing, it tried getting above this bar here. This was a big breakdown bar, guys, with some volume. This is the daily chart. We did have, what do we have? 20 million on the day. So that was pretty light for AMD. We were down 0.76% or down 8 cents on the day. So when this thing was popping, I'm not sure it was news. Talked about this bar. It's got to close, got to confirm to keep this thing going. Never, well, it was close right on this candle. Never confirmed, came right back. It is holding the 20 though. Remember, when we were below here, this was a great bearish pattern, guys. And look at that. To get out of this bearish pattern, they had to pop it up, try to get some more bulls on board. They got people on board, shake them out a little bit, now boom, bringing it right back. Remember though, when we dipped last week, we did fill the gap, so we'll see what happens with this one. It is holding the 20 MA though, so it's okay, but still below the 50 and the 200 MA, so it's a little bit weak. And just been down in this range, guys. I still think we have lower prices to come, especially if the markets sell off. But right now, they're just kind of making this thing go up. Remember, if you had this thing at 10, this thing pops to 11, that's a 10% move. If I was in the straight, I'd be done. That's it. Take my 10% and move on. So let's see what it gives us on the Friday close and the next couple days. If we just kind of chop around sideways, do we come back in and retest this low, or do we pop up and try to recapture the 50 MA? Right now, it's not really telling us, other than we filled the gap. We held here pretty steady. Let's look at the intraday action. So we go to, look at that. Gap down a little bit, came up and just fell asleep. So no action this week with the light volume and the holiday week going into the new year. So let's keep an eye on that. Let's see if this continues sideways. If it does, then it's kind of it's an inside bar pattern, bearish, and an inside bar bearish pattern again. And overall, guys, like this, down, sideways, down, sideways, kind of like this. See how we got the pop, got everyone on board, and dropped it again, then dropped it again. So is this the same pop? Dropped it again, and then they're going to drop it again. Keep an eye on this one, guys. There's really, like I said, we're still holding the 20 MA, still slightly bearish, in a bearish setup. Let's see where this thing goes at come Friday into the close and into the new year. Let's go into Tesla, though. Tesla, guys, just weak overall. You know, we talked about the 750. We talked about these breakdown bars, a lot of resistance coming up here. The big one, though, was on the weekly. I wanted to see the weekly close last week to see if we could get some follow through. We hit the 750. This big breakdown bar just couldn't handle it. Right back down. We're sitting on top of the 50 MA. This is actually a little bit of an inside bar bullish pattern. As long as this holds 314.38, 314.77, this one should be okay. We are into some really good support here. So if this breaks or this gaps down, I would expect lower prices to come. If this holds for the bulls, this thing should turn around, start retracing again. You got to get back above the 20 MA. You have to stay above the 50 MA and then push higher, 618, 750. If you could get above this area here, the 347.46, 347 area, and of course 350, 360. You get above that, then this thing could possibly retest these all-time highs. But right now, guys, a little bit weak. We're almost engulfing this candle. We still have a couple days left. This is the weekly chart. I want to see if this thing closes down in here around 312 or below this big green bar. That's a little bit on the weak side. And plus, we're inside this big red bar. That's an inside bar bearish pattern, but this is a micro bullish pattern on the weekly. So if we start going sideways like this, as long as we're not getting below this low of this candle here, right around 314.11, should be okay. We start to slip, tighten those stops longs, we could possibly start to go, you know, to the $300 area, 295. We retest these lows and get through there, we will be going to the 250 area. And right here, guys, I will be buying with both hands. If it gets down one good straight shot to that area. You have a trend line, you have the 200 MA, you have a gap fill with a low pivot where it retested. Great support down. Man, I'm hoping, guys, I'm hoping. But for now, let's watch this inside bar weekly pattern. If we close below that, look out. Let's see what it gives us in the next week in the weekly close. Let's go to the daily. Or back to the daily. Great retrace. We talked about these MAs and we got below today, guys. As long as it stayed above the moving averages, it would be a little bit of more of a bullish setup. But now we're back below here. We got a big green bar here as well. Let's see what this does in the next couple days. I mean, this almost looks like it's setting up for at least the 310 area, 311 or the 750. You got a little bit of a pivot here. If it cracks through there, then you're definitely going down. Let's stick a trend line here. You're definitely going down to the 303.75 or in this area here. So watch for that, guys. If you're bullish, just tighten the stops. If you're bearish, tighten the stops too, because this thing could, you know, the mentality. Elon will tweet, he'll say something, bring it out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars down. If you bought some puts up here, if you're short up there, great trade. Just start chiseling some off and don't get burned. Because next thing you know, this thing's up 50 bucks on some news or a tweet or something by him. So, but right now, guys, you're back below the MAs, a little bit weak. So let's see what this thing gives us in the next couple days in the weekly close. As long as we're holding this area in here, though, it's okay. And remember, the 314 area on the weekly chart, that's the big area of support that you need it to hold if you're bullish. If that cracks, you will be retesting these 303, 300, and possibly the 295. 292 area here. So watch out for Tesla, guys. You know, this was all news and then it faded. Did we get more news? And as long as we're making these higher lows, that's okay. If we do crack below this one here, the 300, then look out. We're possibly going to test lower prices. All right, guys, that's it for today. If you have any comments or questions, send me an email at stockbookie@gmail.com. Don't forget to like the video and don't forget to check out my other videos that I post on my YouTube site or YouTube subscription page. And don't forget to subscribe, guys, down here in the right-hand bottom corner. All right, guys, thanks again for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. God bless. See you on the charts.